The next point of the antibiotics is the cephalosporins class. Now, cephalosporin. Now, who discovered the structure of the cephalosporin? That is Abraham and Newton. They describe the structure of the first cephalosporin. The name is given cephalosporin C. So over here, this is the structure of the cephalosporin C, right? This is the structure of the cephalosporin C. So which is identified by Abraham and Newton. This compound, cephalosporin C, is not actually very potent. It has activity against some penicillin resistant culture due to its stability to the beta lactamase enzyme. So this drug cephalosporin C, it is not very potent, but this drug is used against those agents, that is those penicillin agents which are resistant to the bacteria because of its ability or because of its stability to the beta lactamase enzyme. Cephalosporin C is not potent enough to be useful antibiotic, but removal through chemical means of the natural side chain produced 7-amino cephalosporinic acid, which is the analogs of the 6-APA. So the cephalosporin C is get converted by the hydrolysis reaction. It is get converted into the 7-ACA, which is look like 6-APA. In the degradation of penicillins, we have checked out that is the penicillin by the acidic medium is get degraded into the 6-APA, right? So the structure of 6-APA is somehow similar with the structure of the 7-ACA. So later on, several other penicillin derivatives, they are degraded into such kind of the compounds which are the derivatives of the 7-ACA. So which shows the little bit antibiotic activity. Regarding the chemical properties, the cephalosporins have their beta-lactam ring annealed to the 6-membered dihydrothiazine ring. So in the penicillins, we have covered that is the beta-lactam ring is annealed with the thiazolidine ring. Correct? That is in penicillins, in the structure of penicillin, the beta-lactam ring is fused with the thiazolidine ring. But in this case, in cephalosporin, the beta-lactam ring is fused with the dihydrothiazine ring. Right? Dihydrothiazine ring. So as a consequence of the bigger ring, so of course this is the bigger ring as compared to the thiazolidine ring, because thiazolidine ring is the 5-membered, whereas this your dihydrothiazine ring is a 6-membered. So as a consequence of the bigger ring, the cephalosporin should be less strained and less potent. Why it is less potent? Because the presence of the bigger structure. So if the structure is bigger, then it is not properly fit to the enzyme or to the receptor, which shows the bactericidal action. However, much of the reactivity loss is made up by the position of the olefinic linkage at carbon number 2 and 3 and methylene acidoxy. So this one is the methylene acidoxy group or any other living group at the C3 position. So generally, if there is a olefinic linkage or if there is any substitution at the C3, so because of this, generally all the cephalosporins, they contain the double bond between the carbon number 2 and carbon number 3, and also they contain a substitution at carbon number 3. So because of all this olefinic linkage and this carbon number 3 substitution, it shows a little bit less activity as compared to the penicillin. Then regarding the structural activity relationship, if you check out the structure of this cephalosporin with the penicillin, then everything is same. Only what's the difference that uh, what is the difference that in penicillin there was a 5-membered thiazolidine ring, whereas over here in cephalosporin it's a 6-membered dihydrothiazine ring. Also, the difference is at the third position. In penicillins, there was two dimethyl groups. Over here, here is the different group, right? Over here it is a different group. That is a acetyl oxymethyl group over here. Then again, this substitution is same as penicillin. That is NHC bond R. Otherwise, everything is same, right? Only these minor changes are there in between the structures of the penicillin and the cephalosporin. So, what is the structural activity relationship of the cephalosporin? So, this beta-lactam ring is crucial for the activity. Of course, the beta-lactam ring is required to show its bactericidal action. Then, bicyclic ring system important in increasing ring strength. So the rings should be fused with each other. So it should be a bicyclic ring system. Then the cis stereochemistry at positions which are highlighted in green is important. So over here, this hydrogen should be a cis isomer. Okay, these two hydrogens should be in a cis isomers. Then other groups may be substituted for the acid-oxy group. So over here, other groups may be substituted for the acid-oxy group, which may or may not serve as a good living group. The nature of the living group is important for activity. Better living group tend to give cephalosporin C analog with better activity. Okay, so in general, if there is a good living group at the C3 position, then it shows a better activity because it rapidly forms the cephalosporin C analog. It rapidly forms the cephalosporin C analog. Okay, so at the C3 position, the living group should be a better. Then the acyl amino side chain. So this one, the acyl amino side chain. It may be altered. Yes, it may be altered because if we change the R group, then it forms the different derivatives of the cephalosporin. Then the sites of the possible modifications, they are highlighted in red boxes. So over here in the red boxes, we can modify the structure. Then they form the different cephalosporin derivatives. So first generation cephalosporin. Now we will check out the drugs of the cephalosporin. So this is what all about the SR and the introduction of the cephalosporin. Now we will go towards the agents. So these cephalosporins are further classified into the 3 to 4 classes. First generation, second generation, third generation and the fourth generation cephalosporins. So the first generation cephalosporin, the example is the cefalexin. The example of the first generation cephalosporin is the cefalexin. Okay, cefalexin. Now, if you check out the structure, then what is the name suggest? Cefalexin means what? It is a cephalosporin. So of course, it contains the cephem nucleus. In the previous lecture, we have discussed about the basic rings. That is a penam ring, penem ring, cepham ring. So this is the cephem ring. So the what is the name suggest? Cefalexin. So it contains the cephem ring. So cephem ring contains all these oxygen, then this carboxyl group. Okay, everything is there. Carbonyl, this carbonyl carbon at the eighth position, and this carboxyl group at the second position. Also, it contains the sulfur. Okay, so it contains the cephem ring. Then at the seventh position, there is NHC double bond O. So that is common for all the penicillins as well as for the cephalosporin. That is NHC double bond O substitution is same. In penicillin, it was at the sixth position, but in cephalosporin, it becomes seventh position because of the bigger ring, dihydrothiazine ring. So NHC double bond O is common. So what is the other substitution? Now cefalexin. Now Fa, that is it contain pH, that is a phenyl, right? Phenyl. Cefa, pH stand for phenyl, and A stand for azha. Azha means what? That is a nitrogen. So nitrogen. So generally, if we say nitrogen, then you can just recall the derivative of nitrogen, that is the amino. So just like likewise, you have to predict the structure from its name. So cefalexin, so it contains the cephem ring. It contains the cephem ring. Then pH is contain the phenyl, and A means what? That is aza. So that is the amino group. So likewise, you have to recall the structure. Okay. Now we will check out the IUPAC nomenclature of the cephaloxime. Now the numbering is same as penicillins. In penicillin, there was total 7 atoms in a straight chain. So at that time we call it as a heptane. But in this case, there are 8 atoms in a straight chain, so we will call it as a octane. But there is a double bond in between carbon 2 and 3, so we call it as a oct 2 in, right? Again, in the penicillin, we nominated the bicyclic ring as a 3.2.0. Over here, we nominated it as a 4.2.0 because there is a breach. So this one is a breach, and to the other side of the bridge there are 4 atoms, 1, 2, 3, 4, and to the other side of the bridge there are only 2 atoms, 1 and 2. So 4.2.0, that there is no any carbon in this bridge, so it is 0. 4.2.0. So now we will check out the IUPAC nomenclature. So now we have to follow the alphabetical order. But before following the alphabetical order, first we have to predict the this one, that is the functional group, the highest priority functional group. Now these penicillins and the cephalosporins, they contain only one highest priority functional group, that is the carboxylic group. So this one is a carboxylic group, COOH. This is the carboxylic group. So there is no need to look out for the other functional group, because if we found the carboxyl group, then of course we have to give highest priority to that carboxyl group only. So there is no need to look for the other functional groups. Okay. Now because other functional groups are acting as the substituents, so the carboxyl group is there, which is the highest priority and which we are going to dominate at the last. Now alphabetical order. Now which other substituents are there? There is a methyl group at the third position. Then there is the oxo group at the 8th position. So M and O. So of course M come first, later on O, MO. Then yes, now here is a amino group. Here is a amino group. So of course we have to nomenclate the structure from this amino position. But if we nomenclate the amino, then of course we have to nomenclate this phenyl also. Then later on this methyl and oxo, right? So we will start our IUPAC nomenclature from the 7th position. So 7 dash. After 7 dash, how many carbons? There are 2 carbons. Carbon number 1, carbon number 2. So 7 dash 2 amino. Then again at the second position there is a phenyl group. So 7 dash 2 amino 2 phenyl. Now this group is called as acetyl group. That is a CH3C11O. So this one is acetyl, or you can also call it as a methyl carbonyl. It's on you. Either you can write down as acetyl or you can write down as a methyl carbonyl. So I simply nominated it as a acetyl. So 7 dash 2 amino 2 phenyl acetyl amino. Then later on this group 3 methyl 8 oxo. 3 methyl 8 oxo. Then the remaining portion is same as compared to the penicillin, that is a 5-thia 1-azha bicyclo 4.2.0 oct 2 in 2 carboxylic acid. In penicillin it was 7-oxo 4-thia 1-azha bicyclo 3.2.0 hept hep 2 in 2 carboxylic acid. But in this case, this is like this, that is 5-thia 1-azha bicyclo 4.2.0 oct 2 in 2 carboxylic acid, right? So this is what about the cephalexin. Now this cephalexin, it is used in urinary tract infection. It is also sometimes used for upper respiratory tract infection. Now it contains the alpha amino group, right? So over here, this is the alpha amino group. So this alpha amino group of the cephalexin, it renders its acid stability, and because of it, it is orally active, right? Because it is acid stable, and hence it is given by the oral route because of this alpha amino group. So this is what about the cephalexin, which is the first generation cephalosporin. So there is only one drug, that is the cephalexin in the first generation. Now we will check out the second generation cephalosporin. Now some of the second generation cephalosporin, they contain this group, that is a N-methyl 5-thiotetrazole. So this one N-methyl, then numbering is from this nitrogen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-thio, over here it is a sulfur. So N-methyl 5-thiotetrazole. Commonly it is referred as MTT. Commonly it is referred as MTT. So the loss of this MTT group, so this position, this group, generally it is present at the third position of the cephalosporin. Okay, it is this group MTT, because some of the cephalosporin contain this group. So this group is present at the third position of the cephalosporin. So loss of this MTT group in SR studies, what we have discussed, that is the third position should be a better leaving group. The substitution which is at the third position, it should be a better leaving group. If the leaving group is better, then it fastly get converted into its active form, that is a cephalosporin C. So the loss of the MTT group is associated with the prothrombin deficiency and bleeding problems. So if this MTT group is leave from the cephalosporin structure, then it associated with the prothrombin deficiency and cause bleeding problem, as well as with disulfiram like acute alcohol intolerance. However, this grouping enhances potency and prevent metabolism by deacetylation. So, however, the presence of this group, the MPT group, it enhances the potency of the drug, and it also prevent the metabolism of that particular cephalosporin structure by deacetylation reaction. Because if the drug is get metabolized, then there is no use of that drug, because what is our pharmacological action, that is the ADME, absorption, diffusion, metabolism and excretion. Metabolism means what? Once it is get metabolized, then it forms some active or inactive metabolites. So that metabolites are, there is no any use of that metabolites, right? So because of this group, because of this MTT group, they prevent the metabolism by the deacetylation reaction. Now, the first drug of the second generation cephalosporin is a cefuroxime. Right? The second drug of the cephalosporin, the second drug of the second generation cephalosporin is the cefuroxime. Now, cefuroxime. Now, the structure is same. Cefuroxime. How you have to remember this structure? Now again, the ring is same, that is a Cephem ring. Again, no need to write down the salt form. Only you have to write down the COOH over here at the second position. Okay. Then cefuroxime, so it contains the furan ring. So it is there in its name, furan. So it contains the furan ring. Okay, and the NHC11O group is there. NHC11O group is there. It is present in all the structures of the penicillin as well as the cephalosporin. Okay, so it contains the furan ring, and it contains this imino group. It contains its imino group and the methoxy group. So just you have to now recognize that if there is a furan, then you have to write down this imino and this methoxy group, and there is a substitution at the third position. I think this is the common substitution. This is the common substitution of the cephalosporins. So this is the structure of the cefuroxime. Now we will nomenclate the structure. So how the nomenclature start? So again, this is carboxyl group, which is the highest priority group. Then there is this group is present. Now the name of the group is a carbamoyl group, or you can call it as a amino carbonyl. So I think we have to start from this group because amino is there. Then later on, which is a substitution, this one is a furan, this one is a methoxy. So yes, we have to start from this amino, right? We have to start from this amino as we have to follow the alphabetical order. After amino, which group we have to cover? Means after amino, we have to nomenclate this whole part which is present at the third position. Then after A, which come first? After A, B, C, D, E, F. Yes. Then after this group, we have to nominate this furan. Then after this furan, we have to nominate this group. Then later on, everything is same. Correct? Alphabetical order is followed. We have to start from this amino. If we start from this amino, then we have to cover whole this group, which is present at the third position. Then later on, after A, furan is there, and later on, methoxy is there, right? A, B, C, D, E, F. Then later on, M comes. So now we'll start with the IPC nomenclature. So we'll start with the third position of the cefuroxime. So 3 dash, 3 dash. So after 3 dash, either you can write down as amino carbonyl oxymethyl, amino carbonyl oxymethyl, or you can write down carbonyl carbamoyl oxymethyl, carbamoyl oxymethyl. So whatever you have to write down, it is same. So I will nominate the structure as like this. That is after 3 dash, carbamoyl oxymethyl, right? Then we have to nominate this furan. So the furan ring is present at the 7th position of the CFM ring. So after 3 dash, 7 dash, then there are 2 carbons in a straight chain, carbon number 1, carbon number 2. So after 7 dash, 2 dash, after 7 dash, 2 dash, wait for a second. So now there are 2 carbons in a straight chain, carbon number 1, carbon number 2. So after 7 dash, 2 dash. So which group is present at the 2 dash? One is this methoxy and this is the imino. Okay, this one is the imino. So first we have to nominate this furan. So after 7 dash, 2 dash, furan. Now to which position of the furan the parent chain is attached? So to the second position of the furan, the parent chain is attached. So after 7 dash, 2 dash, furan, 2YL. Why 2YL? Because at the second position of the furan, the remaining parent chain is attached. So 7 dash, 2 dash, furan, 2YL. After 2YL, again 2 dash. Because again we have to nominate this group. So this group is present at which position? That is at the second position. So again 2 dash, methoxyimino, methoxyimino. Then this group is acetyl, CH3CO. This group is acetyl. Then amino. Then your oxy group is remain 8-oxo, right? Because oxygen, it comes last as amino, then F, then M, and then O. Alphabetical order is followed everywhere. So 8-oxo. Then the remaining portion is same. There is a 5-thia, 1-azabicyclo, 4,2,0-oct, 2-in, 2-carboxylic acid. So this is what the nomenclature of the cefuroxime. So this is all about the cefuroxime. Okay. Now the next one is the third generation cephalosporin. Now in third generation cephalosporin, there is again only one drug, that is the cefotaxime. Okay. Wait for a second. So there is only one drug in the third generation cephalosporin, that is the cefotaxime. In again the previous 2 classes, in the first generation and the second generation, there are again only one drugs are there. In first generation there is only one drug. In second generation there is also only one drug. Now we will cover the third generation cephalosporin. Now in third generation cephalosporin, the first drug is the cefotaxime. The first drug is the cefotaxime. Okay. Now if you check out the structure of the cefotaxime, so again everything is same. If we compare this structure with the previous structure, so it contains CH2OCOCH3. This compound contains CH2OCONH2. So over here there is NH2, but in this structure there is a CH3, right? Again, the previous structure also contains the same imino group and the methoxy group. Also, this carbamoyl group is present in all the cephalosporin. Only there is a change. In the previous structure, it was a furan ring. Now in this structure, this is a thiazole ring. It is a 1,3-thiazole ring. 1,3-thiazole ring. So this is the basic minor difference between the structure of the cefotaxime and the second generation cephalosporin, that is the cefuroxime. Okay. So now we have to identify the alphabetical order. Now in this case, this one is the acetyl group, which is present at the third position, and oxo is there, methox is there, yeah, amino is here, but amino and acetyl. So which come first? Of course acetyl, because A is same, amino ka A and acetyl ka A is same. But after A, the second word is C, or here second word is M. Hence, we have to start the IUPAC nomenclature from this acetyl group, right? From this acetyl group. So, we'll start the IUPAC nomenclature from the third position of the cefotaxime. So, it is 3-acetyl oxy, or you can simply write down as a 3-acetoxy. You can write down as a 3-acetyl oxy or 3-acetoxy. Both are same. So the IUPAC nomenclature will be like this: 3 dash acetyl oxymethyl or acetoxymethyl. Then later on we will go towards this amino group, right? Because we have to follow the alphabetical order as we have covered this third position. Now we will go towards this amino group, which is present at the 7th position of the Cephem ring. So 7 dash, again 2 dash, because there are 2 carbons in a straight chain. After 2 dash, we have to number this thiazole ring. So the numbering of the thiazole ring begins from the sulfur, and you have to move towards the nitrogen. When we number the thiazole ring, then you have to give first number to the sulfur and the third number to the nitrogen. Because if you go from this side, then it gives fourth number to the nitrogen, right? So remember one thing always: whatever the atoms which are fused in any of the aromatic or non-aromatic ring, you have to give the lowest priority to those fused atom, as the first position given to the sulfur and the third position given to the nitrogen, if we count from this side. So the numbering start from the sulfur. So the numbering will be 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So where we are, that is, we first nominate the third position, then later on we come to nominate this amino group. So 7 dash, which is present at the 7th position of the Cephem ring. So 7 dash, then 2 dash, because there are 2 carbons in a straight chain. So 2 dash. After 2 dash, now this is the thiazole ring, and to this thiazole ring, amino group is attached at the second position. So after 2 dash, 2 amino, 1,3-thiazole, 1,3-thiazole, 4YL, as the thiazole ring is attached at the fourth position to this parent chain. So 4YL. Then later on again 2 dash, methoxy amino acetyl amino, right? It is same as the previous drug, cefuroxime. There is a methoxy amino acetyl amino, then 8 oxo, 5-thia, 1 azabicyclo-oct, 2 in 2 carboxylic acid, right? So this is what about the IUPAC nomenclature of the cefotaxime. So this is the first drug of the third generation cephalosporin, which is the cefotaxime. So there is only one drug again in third generation. So each generation contain only one drug. First generation there is one drug, second generation there is one drug, third generation also there is one drug, fourth generation maybe also contain one drug. So the first drug of the fourth generation cephalosporin is the cefepime. It is a cefepime. Now the structure is a little bit again same. Yes, it is same. Only the difference is at the third position. The previous structure contained this group, right? Methyl oxy, कार्बोनिल मिथाइल। उसके पहले का जो ड्रग था वो भी सेम था, बट यहाँ पे अमाइनो था, यहाँ पे मिथाइल था, यहाँ पे एक रिंग है। द नेम ऑफ द रिंग इज पायरोलिडिन, but it is not pyrrolidine. It contain a plus charge. There is a plus charge on the nitrogen, so it's a salt form. So it is a pyrrolidinium. 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 Okay, it is a pyrrolidinium because there is a plus charge. If there अगर यहाँ पे plus charge नहीं रहता तो उस टाइम हम इसे बोल सकते थे pyrrolidine. But there is a plus charge, so we can call it as a pyrrolidinium. Okay. Otherwise, everything is same as the previous structure. There is a 1,3-thiazole ring. Then amino group is also there at the second position of the 1,3-thiazole. Then this is the methoxo group. Then this is the imino group. Then carbonyl amino group is same. 8-oxo position is also same. So everything is same as the previous drug. Only the pyrrolidinium group is added over here at the third position. So we have to now nominate the structure. Now in the previous structure there was the acetyl group at the third position. Now over here there is no any acetyl group. So we found the amino group at over here. So we have to start the IUPAC nomenclature from this amino group. So we start our nomenclature from the 7th position of the cephem ring, right? Because this is the pyrrolidinium. So P it goes last. Then oxo is also there, MnOP. So before nominating this pyrrolidinium, we have to nominate this oxo. Okay, we have to nominate this oxo. Then, there is a consequence that there is a methyl group at the pyrrolidinium. So we have to nominate this methyl group first. But if we nominate this methyl group, then we have to nominate pyrrolidinium also. Then you have to nominate this oxo, right? And this is the methoxy amino group is also there. So if we started IUPAC nomenclature from this amino group, then whole group which is there at the 7th position, we nominated that first. And then later on we nominated this methyl. Then later on we nominated this pyrrolidinium. Then at last we nominated this oxo, and at last the same part, that is the 5-thia, 1-atha, whatever. So we start the nomenclature from the 7th position. So 7 dash. Then again there are two carbons in a chain. So 2 dash. After 7 dash, 2 dash. Then again same ring. So 1, 3. We have to nominate this amino group first. So 7 dash, 2 dash. After 2 dash, 2 amino. Then 1, 3 thiazole. 1,3-thiazole, 4YL, then methoxy amino, acetyl amino, then 3 dash, 1 methyl, as the numbering of this pyrrolidine ring started from this nitrogen. So methyl group is attached at which position of the pyrrolidine? That is at the first position of pyrrolidine. So 1 methyl, pyrrolidinium, 1YL. Pyrrolidinium 1YL. Because why 1YL? Because we have to mention that the parent chain is attached at which position of the pyrrolidine? That is at the first position of the pyrrolidine. So pyrrolidinium 1YL, methyl 8-oxo 5-thia 1-atha bicyclo 4,2,0 oct 2 carboxylic acid. So this is all about the cefepime. Now